Hi, I'm Keeper C. Blakeslee. I am here with the cast, part of the cast of Sandlot, and director and producers, and about to review them on the 20th anniversary of Sandlot. So thank you guys for letting me be here.
Thanks for having us.
All right, first question for the director. So you're pretty much one of the writers and narrators of the films. As some directors say, never work with children or animals, since you work with both in this film. Is that term accurate?
Absolutely, these kids were animals.
Ah.
I don't know. You know, I think that thing that gets said is more aimed at movie stars rather than directors. Yeah, young kids when you're working with these guys were not particularly young. I mean, they were young men, not young kids. You know, it would get said to movie stars because you don't want the animal or the kid to show you up in a scene. Okay, at least they don't. But I find it very rewarding and very easy to work with young actors because I don't know. I just find the interaction director to actor it's very fast. It's very fast, and if I need to have them do it in a certain way, I can sort of do some stuff and communicate with them in a certain way that I can't with an adult studied actor for reasons of respect and all that sort of thing. So it's different. It's different. And animals, it's very easy to act with animals because you don't cast animals, you cast animal trainers. Okay, and we had the best in the world for those big dogs. Yeah.
That sounds great. And since you were one of the writers, this movie is sort of the summer blockbuster of the Christmas story a little bit. Was that the initial vision you were going for as director and writer?
I was just trying to be funny, dude. When Bob Gunner and I sat down to write this, we both just went back in our childhoods and tried to come up with characters and events and things and stuff that happened that we could bring our minds together, stick it on the page, and then try to make it really funny. There's no, I mean, look, as a director, yeah, there was a lot of conscious decisions made. The look of the film, that it's widescreen, all that sort of stuff has an effect on a viewer, on the audience, that it makes it seem like a memory. You might not know that while you're watching the movie, but it does have that effect. So you made all those kinds of decisions. But there's no way to know that any film that anybody's ever going to even like it, number one. The odds are even slimmer that it's going to be a success. And if it's a success, the odds that it'll stand the test of time are almost non-existent. The odds that it becomes a classic, okay, you should just buy lottery tickets. You got better odds, okay? So there's no way to know that, but we are intensely, and I'm sure I speak for Bob, grateful that it has become like that. And that's because of the people that love it, and in no short measure because of these people at this table with me.
And questions for pretty much initially all of you. What do you think Sandlot stands out than other children's sports films? Let's start with Marty here.
Well, I mean, it relates to children more than, it's not like a movie where it's, they play baseball, at the end they have the big game. It's kind of like a number of different things, activities and stuff that we do during the film. And I think that makes it exciting. We're eating the tobacco, and we're doing, flying around on cranes, and we're doing a bunch of crazy stuff. So there's a lot of activity going on in the film.
It still touches a 12-year-old inside a 57-year-old man's body.
It's kind of a realistic fantasy. I think the kids watch it and they want to do that, and they want to be a part of it, and we encompass that in the film. I think it's a little bit of what everyone wants to do and be.
I think it's honest. I think it's just an honest movie. It's kids being kids, doing what they love to do, which is run around, have adventures, play baseball. And for us, while we were doing it, that was basically what we got to do every day when we went to work, which was be kids, have fun, get to know each other. And so I think kids are able to relate to it because they see themselves in these characters. Adults relate to it because they see who they were as kids. So yeah, it's just a real honest movie.
Being an observer mostly from this movie, I think they used every bathroom joke.
And that's what kids love.
That's what kids love, and I think that's one of the reasons why the movie's become a classic.
And I think it's because it's about friendship. It's set against baseball and all the fun and humor that you have, because you can actually tease each other and try to stop each other from hitting the ball, distract them. But it's about friendship and that great memory. And it is also about becoming an adult. Taking the ball is a serious thing. It could have serious repercussions, but they all stick together because they're friends. And that's the great thing about them taking each other in and being there for each other.
Well said. And since you guys were kids filming this, a lot of troubles nowadays is kids trying to balance being actors, but also being just regular kids having a normal life. How did you guys balance that out when you were filming this?
Well, we really filmed it over the summer, so, I mean, we weren't really going to school or anything while we filmed the movie. So it was just what we would do anyway as kids, is play and do stuff that's fun, and it was really no balance. I went back to school when I got done filming the movie, so it was just back to work as normal.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the same thing. I mean, it was over the summer, and it's what we were gonna do anyway. You know, someone recorded it, and it's an unbelievable journey. You know.
I would say that it was all the Mountain Dew that I let them. You must know.
You know, it was different too, you know, I don't think kids in the industry were under such a microscope as they are now too. So I think if this film had come out now, there would have been a lot more attention on all of us as kids, and it wouldn't have allowed us to be kids. But like the other guy said, I went home, went to school, film came out, people liked it. That was that. Just wasn't the scrutiny that's on kids in the industry like it is now.
And how was the transition from being a child actor to really an adult?
That's for us again, okay.
Yeah.
I know it's not.
Dan, yeah, clearly Dan's not an adult.
I mean, it's a different game. I mean, I still do acting a little bit. I do that as well as personal training and things like that. But I think it's when you actually stay in the industry as an adult, it's a harder field to be in. Acting is much harder. But you know, I'll always love the Sandlot no matter what, and you know, it's been a huge part of my life, and I'm here to represent it.
I mean, Grant said it best. I mean, in the '90s, it was a big deal, but it wasn't. We weren't under the microscope, as he put it, as much as they would be now. So I mean, from then to now, it was, I mean, a memory, but it was great. I mean, the Sandlot's part of everyday life. I mean, I'm sure for all of us, someone recognizing you on the street or anything like that. So I mean, it's always with us, but we grew with it. The movie grew, and we grew with it. You know.
Yeah, I'll let you know when I become an adult. It's for me, I stopped acting before I sort of became an adult. I stopped about 18. So my adult life, you know, this is a huge piece of it, but it's not what my life is anymore at this point. So for me, it was a pretty easy transition from being a child actor into the next phase.
But you also achieved a lot of what you sat down when you did those off-camera interviews and said, I want to be behind the scenes. I want to direct. You know, several people wanted to direct and be in music, and there you go.
And since you said behind the scenes, what sort of stuff is that? Like, what have you been really doing?
Well, I originally thought I wanted to direct, but then after trying my hand in film school, I realized that wasn't my path. So I went into the music industry, and now I'm in the creative side of business, advertising, marketing.
And since I'm not getting enough questions for you,
That's
what
all
were
right. That's okay. I think you're
sorry.
focused on the kids. That's okay.
What were your first, well, for both of you, what were your first thoughts on the script? Because you're the producer and everything, so what was your first thoughts?
This is worth doing.
It was brilliant. Greatest script ever.
Yes, that's right. No, I think David's right in his description. On the other hand, as a producer, when you read something, because we read a lot, I certainly have read a lot in my career, stands out. It just stands out as a great, like that great feeling of childhood and memory, and who wouldn't want to relate to that? So I was excited to do it.
And I got the job.
That's all I
I
got.
auditioned for a great part, and I got the job, so that's why I was there. And it has turned out to be it's a great coming-of-age film, and these guys did great. And David Mickey Evans, one of the best directors around with kids. So it was a pleasure to do it.
And since the Sandlot is the first really national film historical location in Utah, when you guys go there, are you kind of like hometown celebrities? Or do you not recognize you?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
In a word, yeah.
I think so. We did a weekend in Utah last month for the anniversary, and it was a time machine going back there. They did a great job of rebuilding the set, but it was 48 hours of just unbelievable memories, and the people were unbelievable. It was, I can't even begin to describe it, but it was.
Yeah, the state
awesome.
of Utah dedicated a historical marker, okay, at the original site of the land on which we filmed the thing, and there were,
The Sandlot.
Yeah, the Sandlot, I mean, and I think they had sold 1,300, they had 1,300 tickets to sell, because you're talking about an acre and a half, maybe 2 acres of land, you can only get so many people on. Where, they're gonna have some speeches and all that sort of thing. We were all there to, sign autographs, meet people, and shake hands and thank the fans for making the movie what it's become. And they sold out those tickets in about 11 minutes, okay? And then about 5,000 people showed up, okay? So it was like, literally like that,
Wow.
But everybody was calm, and it was like a Sandlot love fest, and we watched the movie.
Yeah,
And, there
it
were
was like
people-
coming out for the 4th of July
It
and
really was,
celebrating.
you
It
know.
really was, and so even though there were a large number of people, it was so calm, so great.
And there were people, moms and dads with their kids, that had come from Canada, New Jersey, and all that.
Oh, San Francisco
San
drove
Francisco
all the way.
Drove all the way there, and that's what they made their summer vacation,
Wow.
because they found out about it on the net.
Well, I'd like to thank you all for letting me interview every one of you, and I hope you enjoy the 20th anniversary of Sandlot. I'm Keefer C. Blakeslee, reporting for Kids First, signing off.
Very